Alright, I welcome you all to this tutorial. My name is Gutsy, Akaba aka Gmeedia, and today we'll just be talking about how to sound advanced even using basic things, using basic chords approach, slurs, diminished, um, and maybe some tritone, and maybe using some skill. And I believe by the time we're done with this tutorial, you should be able to take your play advance. And without wasting much of your time, let's jump into the tutorial. Alright, so welcome back. So this tutorial, we're doing it on the key of D flat, and I'll try to split it into different sessions so we get the idea so we don't miss anything. Alright, so the first part, we'll be going through the basics. On the key of D flat, we have D flat, E flat, E, F, F sharps, A flat, B flat, C, and D flat. So those are the keys. Then if you don't know your scale, you should know only your mi to your fa. You have the semitone and your ti to your do semitone. All others are woto. Woto just means the key is in between them, and semitone means there's no key in between them, like your mi and fa and your ti to your do. So we have do, re, wotone, wotone, semitone, wotone, wotone, semitone, wotone. So with that, you should be able to form your skills on all keys. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is your chord. So we have your do, mi, so, mi, fa, la, mi, so, ti, fa, la, do, so, ti, re, la, do, mi, ti, fa, la, and so mi, do, mi, so again. So you should know your inversion. You should be able to do your inversion. Inversion just means flipping the lowest note upward. So do, mi, so, do, mi. So know them on all keys. You understand? I'm trying to not go up because if I'm going up a little bit, it's going to be having to hit my mic. So I think that's the basic things. And the last thing you need to know, before the last thing, you have to be able to do these duets. Try to learn it like this. Learn it on the key of D flat, you understand. So what I'm doing is the second inversion of everything. If this is your do, mi, so, you understand, then this the first inversion do. So I'm doing do, then re, I'm just moving the top, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So you could slow it down so to get it. This mi, do, fa, re, so, mi, la, mi, la, mi, la, fa, ti, so, whatever. Do, la, re, ti, do. So that's just that. And the next thing you need to know is your chromatic skill. So on your two hand, so I'm only using my thumb, middle finger, thumb. Then second finger, thumb, middle finger, thumb, middle finger, thumb, and the second finger, then middle finger. So my middle finger is only, my second finger is only coming from my fa side. From my fa to my from my F to my F sharp, and from my B to C. Yeah, B to C. So we have this. So that's just it. So you need to learn how to do it. I don't want to do it with the two hands. Sorry, I'm a bit rusty. So you can get your hand flexible with it because we'll be using all these in songs. You'll be hearing things like this. You'll be hearing. So you'll be hearing. You can see I'm trying to apply some of the basic things we've talked about. So that's the first part of this tutorial, the basic part, the basic, going back to the basics. So let us move to the next part. Now, this part of this tutorial, what we'll be dwelling on is how to use your basics, using basic chord to sound advanced. Now, one thing you'll notice about me is that I hardly play my do chord like this. No, I make sure I slow from the second note, do, re, mi. I'm sorry, the middle note in between. So you hear, so this for my do, mi, so, I slow my re to my mi. For my fa, la, do, I slow my so to my la. For my so, ti, re, I slow my la to ti. So this is what I basically do when I have to play a major chord. So for example, I could do, you can see. So what I did, instead of staying, so I did this, then I went to my do, re. So you hear this chord a lot when they want to start worship. Hallelujah. Let's worship God. You hear this? So, all right, so that's just one. Then on my fa, I do the same thing on my fa. So what can I do again sometimes is mi, re, mo, re, do, mi, re, mo. But my hand will still be on my so. Sometimes I remove it. So you could just re, mo, re, do, re, mo, re, do. So, si, la, fa. So just, you could see it on my saw. Same thing. So I could do. Hear me do that again. You've done so much. You've done much for me. I cannot tell you. Yeah. You heard it there. So you heard it there. So that's just it. So as I'm showing a concept, I'll be trying as much as possible to actually show applications. So another thing I do with my major chords is most times I use it to create melody if I'm going somewhere. So if I have a song going to, so okay, so there's a casting crown. So instead of going to casting crown, I could go. So I will come to the extension. So you can see dot. So I slowed. So zila. So you learn how to slow like this. So whenever I want to slow this kind of slow, I do this. These two notes, these two hands. So you could just do yeah. So you can see. Okay. So sometimes it just makes your play full instead of just play. It sound empty. So do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. Something like that. That was what I did. So just I just walk. Adonai. So re, do, ti. So what I'm just doing, combining everything together. So that's how to use your basic major chord. So you could do like, so that's inversion for ending of a song. I just want to Baba oh. Simple. So another thing you could use your major chord is your major chord, your do can go well, it sounds sweet with your fa and with your re. For example, we just Baba oh, Eshe. We won't believe this is just major chord. Mi, do, so, la do, fa, so do, mi so do mi so, then to my re. So there are a lot of things you could just do with just a major chord. So I want you to learn the inversion. So for example, you hear me do stuff like on my 6, I just want to say Baba oh she. I just want to say Baba oh she. Baba oh she. Maybe if I want to turn around. On my 6, I do this a lot. But it's just basic. Fa, mi, re. But my re, I'm slowing to my T. Especially when I'm going to my re, I do that. So I do something like, I just want to say, Baba, you hear this hello? So you hear this movement to your me most time. You hear this me do this. This is just fa chord, sotire, there. So you could do. So even to your me, you could do this. So you're just major chords. So that's what we are trying to create from it, movement. So you could do. I've shown fa mi re or your la, fa mi re or your mi. Then you could combine it this way or your fa to your mi. Then so that is fa mi re, fa mi re ti do. So very simple to my re. So I believe that was the part about that using major chords. You understand? You could even do something like, so you could do Baba oh. This is just saw chord, la with saw chord, but it's sounding sweet. Baba oh, Baba oh, she. So let's move to the next part. So in the next part, we'll be discussing about left hand chords. Right, welcome back. So in this part, we'll be talking about using your left hand. So when we start adding chords to our left hand, so you notice some of the time I was holding some things on my left hand. So basically what I learned is, my chord like this: do mi so ti, re fa la do, mi so ti re, fa la do mi, so ti re fa, la do mi so, ti re fi la. That's what I use most times. So ti. So that's just learn this movement. So you might not need to play everything at times. Like the rule I say, if I'm playing on this upper place, I could play full chord. If I'm playing here, I prefer doing something like this. Or instead of playing my 7th at times, I could stretch. That's what I do. Most times I stretch my mi a note upward, like this. So something like this. My la, most times my la is always la do mi so, like this. My fa is most times fa la do mi. No, I didn't even do fa la do mi. I did fa la do so. except when I want to do something like, you understand, and I'm on the upper octave. But if I, because some, I will still need the root, you understand, like need that deep part. I most times do this to give space. Doing much chord there will sound muddy. You understand? So it's best when you spread or you keep it as two notes. You understand? It gives that, retains that quality. On my ray, I do this most times. I didn't do this because it will be too much and too basic. So I do this. I could do this, or better still, I just do. I stretch it to my fa like this. You understand? Depending on which my hand, and my so I'm like this. Re, so to re, so re fa. I'm sometimes like this. Sorry, so depending. But I hardly do la. Or sometimes depending, I can stretch to la. So basically, it's just depending on what I'm trying to press across. So the reason for left hand is this: it frees your right hand. You understand? Let us say, let's want to say, if you say I'm just holding one note, Baba, I'm just even holding. Sorry, so yeah. So this is it. So you could see what I'm doing with my left hand. So the same song will go. I just want to Baba. So you can see what I did. Combine two concepts together. I talked about this. I just want Baba. Baba. I just want Baba. I just saw this. You can see I did it on my lap now. Just to. I just want this. So. Baba. So that's just it about using your left hand, you understand? So I'll be touching some other things. One would get to circle. So, but basically that's what I do. So instead of playing your fa like this, or your normal way you're playing fa, you could just do si fa do so then with your do chord, depending on the melody. And it still sounds full. So most times when I'm running skills like this, so when I'm running skills like that, I make sure I'm holding chords on my left hand so it doesn't sound too empty. At least maybe the root fifth and the seventh, or the root fifth and the ninth. So depending. So learn it. I've given you most of the voicings I use most times, you understand. So I've tried to apply it into a song. Okay, so even though we talked about major chord, let me show you how we use it in drum 2. We could do something like this. You've heard me do this a lot of times. So it's basically from major chords. You understand? We talked about major chords. So I'm pushing it a little further in this video before we move to the next thing. So what is this? Is do mi sol la do ti. So what makes it sweet is this slow we talked about. You could hear. You can see the way I'm combining everything together. So, do. Just please look at the middle. Si fa. So, you can see the way I'm combining everything. So you could. So that's what you hear most pianists do these days. So how do you combine it? Let's say I just want to say Baba. So I did this something. You can see just major chord C. So sounds like switch, right? So I just want to say Baba. I might not want to go like that because of the melody. So I just want to say Baba. Hey. So I just want to. So that's just that about that. So let's move to the next thing. All right, welcome back. So in the previous video, we talked about major scale. We moved forward further to holding left hand chords. You understand? Now we'll be talking about how to use. There's this melody, this chord I love a lot. So it works this way. We're starting from the Mi. Now we'll be using the seventh. We'll be using seventh, but we'll be leaving out these are seventh for the Mi. That's Mi sol ti re. You understand what I said? We should work it out. So we'll be leaving out the other two notes and sometimes. So this is a chord, sol do re so. So we'll be working it up. In fact, you could even just leave the seventh at times, depending on what is convenient for you. So you could just watch what I'm doing. How does this sound? So we're starting from the sol do re so with your Mi. Mi, re, then fa and la, mi, la, do, re, la, re, fa, la, re, mi, la, then it's your sol, you're playing your sol with this. Fi, si, mi, fi, ti, then la with la, do, fa, la, do, mi, sol left hand, do, fa, sol, do right hand. So that's re, sol, la, re, then I'm playing ti, sol, la, then mi, la, ti, mi, then. Now we can take this further by playing with the two middle notes. Learn this. So we could go walk our. I just want to say. Baba, and I just wanna say, Baba. So you could see. So we'll go. I just wanna say. So you could walk chromatically. Just keep moving everything. But now you be careful. Now when you're getting to your fa, you're going to a major chord. So let's say you're walking to your major chord. Don't go to the next one like this, except you know what you're doing. So me, I found a way to make the melody come back, but most times what I do, I go back to, you understand? So I use it to move chromatically to major chords, and I used to walk up. So you can hear a song like "We Give You a," same concept. So then when they went to the la, they went to la, re, mi, la, there. So you hear this So that's just, you hear that a lot in songs. So that's just how. So you now. So yeah, this is another movement you hear a lot. So what they're doing here is, let us start with our saw. So then the way, re, ti, re, do. So you learn it on same movement. You understand? They bring this one down, they go down. So they keep walking. So just same thing. So you keep learning all this pattern everywhere. So you hear someone has a da, 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 da. So that's where they got that movement from, in case you don't know. So that's just the chord. So I believe now you are aware of that. Let's say that chord movement. So you could use it anywhere. We just want to say Baba oh, we just turn around. So if you see, on my fa, what am I holding? La, re, mi, la. Same thing, my seventh. Then I play the same thing. Very simple. So, to say, so, Baba o. So, so you could just create melody. So sometimes you could really just do it on left one hand. We just want to say, Baba. So you can see. So I just say Baba. So where it look so distinct is on your re. You just want to say Baba. You could hear how it sounded so sweet. I believe that is you've gotten the concept, so you could be very, very creative with that. You understand, and you know. I just worked re do ti instead of my saw. You know, you could substitute your T instead of your saw. So I did. You understand? So no chord substitution. Do your do, you could substitute your la for your do. Your fa, you could use re. You understand? And your saw, you could use T. So I just same chord movement. Work down with it. Fa la do fa to do fa. Mi la ti mi and do mi saw my left hand. So you could always check the MIDI. So I did it there. I just want to say. There you see what I did. So that's just it. You could be creative and you know get. So that's what I apply. I apply all these principles together to sound sophisticated. So let's move to the next part of this video. All right, welcome back. So yeah, in this tutorial, we'll be talking about, we'll be taking this a step further. So what we're looking at is diminished chords. You understand? How to apply diminished chords. You understand? And ways to go about it. Now, basically, diminished chords are just 3-note intervals. And for example, if I want to form a diminished chord from the D flat, this will be hit, and it'll be D flat, E, G, and B flat. So that's do, ma, fi, la. So 3 notes, do, second note, third note, fourth note. So that's how I get it. Now I use diminished basically if I'm using circles or I am on a minor chord. So, or I want to work from a chromatic chord to a minor chord. So, or let us say I want to do something. Or something like. So, or yeah, or I want to go to my La. You can see. So all I'm using there are diminished chords actually. So let me just quickly explain it. So basically, just like I've said, if I'm going to my T, I love using diminished chord. So what I do basically, if I'm going to I walk it down with chromatic. You could see I'm going to my T. Let's say I'm going to my T, from my T, I am going to my Mi. I'm using my T as a passing to the Mi. So let me quickly go about circle so we understand. Circle is what? Let's just like Fi, Ti, Mi, La, Re, Sol, Fa. You understand? So it means when we are going to our T, we could use Fi. When we are going to our Mi, we could use T. When we are going to our La, we could move from our Mi. That's why you could see this. I just want to say Baba O Mi La. I just want to say Baba O Eshe. So we could go Eshe then. So that's circle. So that progression we are playing basically is circle. So for example, that's what you mean. Fi, Ti, Mi, La, Re, Sol, Do, Fa. So if I'm going to my T, I could use for my Fi. If I'm going to my La, I could go Ti, Mi, La. That's where we hear that Ti, Mi, La is from circle. Fi, Ti, Mi, La. So we could just do something like, or if you want to sound much more crazy, we could do something like. So it's just about approaching things the simplest way and putting those simple things together to make it sound complex. So basically, if I want to play, if I'm going to my any song that has T, I just want to say I could do. So this is my chromatic. So I just walk it up or walk it down, depending on what I want to achieve. So that's why I'll explain the chromatic. So I form my diminished 6 notes away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or on the fifth, what I call it, 6th tone away. That means the tritone because this is a tritone. So you could learn this up and down. So it will be useful. I'll be explaining something else on that. But I just form it a 6 note away. So you could just walk it down like that. So you could, anytime you need it, you could always just throw it without thinking. So you walk it down, walk it up. Though I use it walking up most times, I'll be walking down. Or you could just. Now, another thing is when I'm running it very fast, I take off the second to the last because I already have it on my root. So I do it like this. So that's like a drop 2. You understand? Are you getting me? So drop 2, dropping the second to the highest note. You understand? This is when I already have it here. So you could just do this. Sorry, till you're convenient with it. Yes. Sorry, I'm missing them up. I'm missing it up actually. So you could just work it. So basically, if I'm going to my La, I use it chromatically. You understand? Like I said, chromatic Z to your La to my minor chord. I could do this to my Mi. You understand? Diminished to my Mi. I could do this to my Mi. Or you understand? You understand? So my Re, I do this a lot. In fact, I can't play without doing this. Same concept. So the same concept. So what I did there was chromatic. It's very simple. So for the chromatic, it depends on what I want to just achieve. There's no really do. So I just want to say. So you might not want to be crazy. I just want to say Baba. So you could even do, I just want to say, Baba. You could use your diminished on your La, on your minors, and to go to another minor. So you could do, you can see diminished 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I'm going to my Re, just like the circle, see me La Re, I could do diminish on my La. So I could go. So you see how it went? Now notice something. When I'm playing my diminished, I make sure I bring the note clustered so I can have a fuller feel than playing it. It's not going to sound full. So are you getting that's the gist? So that's just the way I use diminish to spice up play. So what I can do is I just want to say Baba. So I could do. You could see. So I just want to say Baba. I'm only trying to choke it too much, so you might not need to do all this. So all this when playing, you understand? So it doesn't look too much. So just once in a while. So I could do Baba oh Eshi. I just want to say Baba oh Eshi. We just want to. Yeah, okay, sorry. You could hear what I did. I worked. Sorry, okay. Say Baba oh. We talked about it. So combined everything together. So that's just how I use my diminished, you understand? So let me, in the next video, I will talk about we're talking about how to use tritone before we talk about the last things, which we cover every other thing joined together, any other additional stuff. So thank you. Okay, now welcome back to this tutorial. So yeah, in this tutorial, it's kind of simple. The reason why I said so is I'll just show you the chords and my approach to it. You understand? Just like the diminish, you just learn everything on all keys. So most times you can start from anywhere you like, but I prefer starting from here. Then I hold my Fa, Do. So this is Fa, Do, Re. Then I walk it down like this. Sorry. No, I'm missing something. So let's go slowly. You can use the MIDI to pick the notes. You can see what I'm doing. It's not making sense, right? Okay, let me show you something. I just want to say Baba. I just want to say Baba. Baba. You can see where I understand. So basically, I use my this tritone movement to move to a minor 11th. Good. So what are minor 11th? I'll just show you the chord. Use my minor 11th salty do mi. I use this on my La. Then on my Re, do mi fa La. You understand? I use it Ra. Now I use this salty do mi with Sol chord. Do mi fa La with Do chord. You understand? And the last one is Re Fi salty. I use this with E flat with Fi chord. You understand? But starting from the Re Fi, Mi Fi. So I just had it should be this Re Fi La, but I had the me to give it another feel. You understand? There's no actually reason why I'm adding it, but it just gives that feel I like. So how do I use it? So basically, I was going to. I just want to say Baba. Oh. So I worked it minor 11 instead of using my normal B. So I worked it from here. So depending on the timing you have and how fast you are, you could work anything. So here I prefer using as my means of I just want to say Baba. Oh. So I did. Let me break it down. I'm having Miladi and Fati on my left hand. Then you can always use the MIDI to slow it down. Fati, Fato. Then I'm having Mo, Zido. Then I'm having Mola. Then I'm having Re, Soti. Yeah. You could see. So I just want to say Baba, Baba. On that minor 11, you understand? Instead of my La. So depending on the timing you have. So sometimes I could do Baba to my La. Same concept. So where I'm starting here, to say if you learn the chord up and down. So I'm having La, Mo, Tritone. These are Tritone. Zire, there. Just 2 notes before. So I just want to say Baba. So you could see I'm using it on my La. You understand? So the basic idea is this: don't use it too much. Don't play. Then come here again. It'll be too much. So you could just Baba element of surprise. You can see what I did. Yeah, I'm using Fa Mi Re. I explained it instead of going to using the same thing. You understand? I'm using Fa Mi Re on the that we use for the La, but now I'm using it as rootless. You understand? So now you could see how it works. Then on Fa, I could use what I was going to say Baba. So just one. Then you could see the way I'm using it. I'm instead of going 2 notes, like I'm just using 1 note. You could see. So that's just the way I actually approach music, you understand? So I don't know if you're getting the point. So this is the movement, first movement. So you just walk it down, get your finger across it, then you could. So anytime you have space in between the song, or like so that's what I do. So I just played around it. So I played. Let me try to see if I can. I walked it down to. So I went to my T, Mi, So. So you could be creative with everything. So you could say I combined the two different movements together just to achieve that. So those are things I do. On my La, sometimes I do this. So these are just instead of me playing it, I could do this. Now, the part we want to use we talked about cycle. The part minor 11 can be sweet is on your circle. This is the first cycle I learned. So Tidomi, Pitidomi, Falatore, Latore. So Shamba. You know these are all chord. Now where it's sweet is awesome God. Sorry. Awesome God. So yeah, I didn't even use it completely. So awesome God. Agree. So it might be too much, you understand? So you could just spice go back. So it might. What my idea is that it frees your left hand when you're holding, free your right hand when you're holding chord. Awesome, God. So that's just the idea, but it might be too much. So most times I could do right. So it depends on what you want to achieve. So that's how I use my minor 11. I use this chord a lot. In fact, you always see it when I play. So that's that about that. The last part of this would be any additional thing I do. So welcome back. So this final laps of this video tutorial, we're talking about some other things I had to play to sound sweet actually. So we've covered the major chord. So we've talked about the seventh. We've talked about so. We've talked about diminished. We've talked about tritone. We've talked about minor 11. So before I will be talking about other things, your skills. So how I approach skill is majorly the skills I use. Do re mi sol la ti do re mi. Those are what I play with. So that's what I play with. So if I'm on my fa, do re mi sol do re mi do. I run this a lot. So on my so fa mi re do re mi re do ti la so fa. So this is I use on my me. So I just want to Baba give. So just look at the MIDI. This is fi ti mi so do fa z d so that means la. So the where I'm going to is this la re so. So I've talked about two skills I run. So so on my la ti di re re ti di re re mama. So that's what I run. So with this same la re so, but what I'm doing is so yeah. So on my fa, if whenever I'm playing sol do fa like this, fa la do re, I do this something like. Yeah, so you can see. So So depending on what I want to achieve, so about you feel so on my saw I do this a lot. You hear this fast a lot. So sometimes I do. So what I'm doing is I do this, then I just want to say Baba. So fa, I'm running fa, zi, do, re, fa, zi, do, re. The last one will be the fa. So this chord you hear a lot. You just wrote so the re, so backward on a higher octave. So I just want to. So if you notice the way I play this chord, I don't drop all my chords together. I do try to split it, something like that. Very, very important. Isaladora, so that's what I do basically. Then those are repetitions. So if I'm going to my la, I do on my mi. I go Isala si tira si fami tira si tira si tira si fami tira. So or I do. If I'm going to my la, I do something like. I work it. Fi, sol, si. Then on my re, I'm having re, fa, sol, re, fa, ti, and fa, si, re. So now my sol, do, fa. One thing I do a lot is I do this a lot. So re, fa, and fa, do, re, fa. Give me that one. So do fa. So to do mi. So we have so re fa fa to do re fa and so to do mi. So then I've explained this. I run. I just run it with scale to my saw. So la, so, fi, so la, so, fi, so do, so, fa, re, fa, mi. So slow it, fa, re. So that's just how I approach it. So on my left hand, I'm doing same thing. Ti, la, fa, la, so. So similar concept. So basically, so that's what I just do. But these are the scale I use the most Latin. Sorry. Left hand spreading. See, you can see those normal chord I've taught. Simple. So you've done so much for me. So when I'm going to my saw and the saw is saw and do, I do re diminish fa si re so do mi si ti fa si re. So re mi re do mi fa mi re mo re do mi fa mi re. If I dance and start to come, receive will be here. So another thing is, if I'm going to my, so I could do do fa do instead of my do chord, especially when I'm still going to fa as milatimi. You can make it. So pay attention to the melody, and I try to keep my chords, my melody note at the topmost note. So I believe with this, you should be able to sound much more better. I've showed you everything. After this chord, this is Z, T, Fi, and I slow a lot. If I'm going to my Fi to saw, I just want to say that, I just want to say, which song can I use that? Some guy. You are God. Yeah, I'm looking for a song that we could use. Okay, let me say Ali adoration that to you on the cross. Because of you, I got to do that. So that's it. Do till us off. So you could use that when you're going to your saw. Do till us off. So those are just it. So I believe with this you could take your basic things and expand it and sound much more professional. So if you're having any question, you could always just hit me up and I'm going to be explaining further. But basically, these are every way things I do to sound. I don't really know any other way. I just pick up the basic things and turn it to something nice. On my saw, I could just do so fa mi re do ti la si so fa mi. So this one. Because when it's fast, it makes sense. So basically, I think I've broken down every skill I run. So if you need anything or any other thing, you can be creative. You understand? On your feet, you could just run your A flat here. On your Re, you could just start from it. You could see this is the same major scale. So I roll. So that's what I roll it back and forth at some point. So with this, I believe you're good to go. Thanks for watching.